What's going on, guys? Today I'm sorry guys, I think I catch the flu. No guys, I'm joking. I'm going to present towards you all Orcust RUNICK list that I come up with, saw and tried to install my own little quirks into it to make it more viable. I saw recently that Orcust got a bit popular. It topped the regional, and Joshua Schmidt made a video of constructing Orcust Sky Striker, but I saw it and I thought, that's not the correct way to play Orcust. 2019 is a long time ago, therefore I figured we can just update it a bit more and make it more fun for me personally and a bit more viable. So we're playing an Orcust RUNICK build with a small HORUS engine. I saw people playing a Bestial engine with it. I personally don't like Bestials that much, and a problem that this deck fondly has is that it also can lose to Nibiru, which luckily this deck with this build doesn't. So I'm going to showcase towards you all a one card combo that this deck has and some other combos that the deck can do, and the deck is fairly easy to play, so I don't need to showcase fairly a lot. As you can see, we don't have any hand traps in the deck besides Imperm, but Imperm is a hand trap and board breaker at the same time, therefore it's classed differently. Imperm is currently the best generic interruption that we have in the game, therefore I am playing 8 of it. I would play 9, or even 12, but in fact Whaler doesn't fit here anymore, and I want to stick it to 40 cards because we don't really play any Garnets besides World Wand. So I'm and happy obviously, yeah, so I'm sticking to it this way. It consists of a standard build of Orcust as well as RUNICK cards, and I also don't see Droplet used pretty much in Orcust, which I think is horrendous. Droplet is so strong in this deck, therefore I think it's a must play in every Orcust list. Orcust is one of my favorite decks, therefore I want to showcase it towards you all. Since 2019 I'm obsessed with Orcust Nightmare. I love this piece of cardboard. I would do horrendous thing to her. I love her. I mean, she isn't barely a woman anymore. I think she's just a weird amalgamation at this point, but it's still fun. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get to see the combos and see what this deck is capable of. So the one card combo starts with Girsu. We normal summon Girsu, use the effect of Girsu to set up Harp into the grave, use the second effect of Girsu to summon up a token on our field and the opponent's field, use the token to summon up Link Spider, use Harper's effect to special summon Orcust Nightmare, go into Galatea, use the effect of Orcust Nightmare to send a World Wand into the grave, we use the effect of World Wand to special summon Nightmare back from the banishment, and then use Nightmare and Girsu into IP Macarena. Use the effect of Galatea one last time to shuffle World Wand into the deck. I want to use it in the further turns to have the backup, but I'm sure there's an argument to be made that you don't want to have the brick again in your deck. And then we set our Orcust Crescendo, and this is the setup that the one card combo does us. We summon Galatea with Crescendo and IP Macarena and have access into OMNI Negate as well as IP Macarena, using it to go into SP Little Knight. Having 2 interruptions for one card and having the rest consisting of runic spells is fairly strong. But I know what people are gonna say in the comments. This combo wasn't Nibiru safe, therefore I got you covered with a Nibiru safe line with this deck. We summon Girsu, use the effect on normal summon to send Harper into the graveyard, use Harper's effect to special summon Orcust Nightmare directly from the deck. We link up those two into Galatea, use the effect of Nightmare to send Simple Skeleton into the grave to have recursion for the next turn, and then shuffle up Harper into the deck and set Crescendo, and we have exactly 4 summons, therefore we are Nibiru safe, and all we lose is the SP Little Knight, which is 1 interruption that we lose, but we still are Nibiru safe with our runic spells and have an OMNI Negate to be reckoned with. This is the line that I would do if we don't open up with the HORUS engine and therefore are Nibiru safe. The first line that we did, I'd probably prefer to use it if we have the HORUS and monsters on the board, or if it's game 3 and we are sure that our opponent already sided Nibiru out. Or we can recognize that our opponent probably doesn't play any Nibiru. But the lines are obviously far and beyond. We don't see Girsu at every point in the game. Therefore, we need to switch up the combos a little bit. We can do it with Armageddon Knight. I'm not personally a big fan of Armageddon Knight. It just clogs up the space. Therefore, this is a different line that we can do with a Runic monster on the board. We use Runic Slumber to summon up Hugin. We don't use the effect of Hugin. Obviously, we would do it in the normal game, but I want to showcase towards you all the combo, and we don't have any other cards in our hand, which would probably be Runic spells. Therefore, it's unnecessary to showcase it towards you all right now. We normal summon Harp, go into a Link 2 into Galatea, use the effect of Harp into the graves, and summon up Girsu. And now we are in Nibiru territory, so we can use the effect of Girsu to again send Symbol Skeleton to have the recursion in the next turn if our Galatea is going to be popped by our opponent. But because I just want to showcase you the full combo and not a Nibiru save, or not worrying about Nibiru combo, or we are already safe from Nibiru via the HORUS engine, I want to showcase it towards you all how we can still play through it. So we use the effect of Girsu, send Orcust Nightmare, and use the effect of Orcust Nightmare to send a World Wand. World Wand effect, we summon up Harp Horror, and we go into IP Macarena again. We could go into Evil Swarm Nightmare here, which could be better in certain matchups, but IP Masquerena is the more obvious pick just because it's better going blind into the duel. Therefore, I'm picking her, but in this situation you could have go into Evil Swarm Nightmare or even other level 4s like, I don't know, Giant Hand. Yeah, so this is the combo showcase of Orcust. I think it's fairly competent in this build. The runic spells make up the consistency far more, therefore we aren't playing any orchestrated returns, because we just have the draw power via Imzeti and Fountain. Therefore we don't really need this. The Link 4 monsters that we are playing is Zeroboros, because he's just insane and also closes up the games. We don't need any access code to go into the OTK line. We have so much banished cards at a certain point that this thing is going to have 6k attack easily. Custrion is more gimmicky, but can be really good against stuff like Snake Eyes. It's fairly common that we can summon up Galatea with our Symbol Skeleton and have an SP Little Knight coming back. Therefore going into our Custrion and at turn 3 is fairly usual in this deck and nothing out of the ordinary. Therefore I think it's pretty cool to have this in the deck. But if you don't like it, that's probably a flag spot. Girsu is extremely powerful in this deck. One of the most favorite plays that I have with this deck is going into Galatea, going into Girsu, using the effect of Girsu to send something from the field to the graveyard, and then use Girsu with a different monster that we control, going into SP Little Knight and banishing something for opponent control. Those are two removals that this deck is capable of, making Orcust better going second than it was ever before. Orcust struggled a lot going second, therefore you had to fill it up with hand traps, which luckily this build doesn't need at all. This deck is all gas, no brakes. The zombie vampire rescues some of the weird hands that we have, and isn't targetable, therefore we are safe from imperm out of it. Bubble is a card that I would probably side in, though, if we know that we are going second. Crescendo is a card that going second isn't live at all and is pretty useless, so I would switch it up to fire siding into Bubble, because using our Orcust monsters as quick effects makes Masquerena and especially Long Girsu live as a quick effect. With Masquerena and Long Girsu is such a strong removal and resource heavy card that we are probably in the winning spot if we use it going second again. Therefore this is something that I would do going second. This is why we don't main it, because it kind of clashes with the Fountain. There is a world that we are allowed to lose one Fountain. In the many matches that I played, I can fairly tell I rather had a Fountain on a field than I ever had a battle. Therefore in this build it's probably at the best a side deck card. So yeah, this is my showcase of RUNICK Orcust. I think this deck is fairly competent in this build. You can try it out with the Bestial engine, there's no problem with that. I just personally like the HORUS engine way more in this deck, because it makes us Nibiru safe and gets the field of the old Orcust as I loved it, making it like so resource heavy and making it so fun to play. You always have the feeling that you're allowed to do so many things in this deck, and this is why I like it. Even the one card combo ends in a OMNI negate, like Salamangreat, but Salamangreat loses hard to Nibiru. This deck doesn't at all, because we can set Crescendo on our 4th summon. Therefore, I personally think that this deck is far better than Salamangreat. Which isn't a lot, because Salamangreat isn't great right now, it's Salaman average. The German Championship as well as the European Championship could be interesting for this deck. I wouldn't sleep on it, honestly. I don't say it just because I want to be nice for my wife, but I think it's a very competent deck. So yeah, that's it. That's all of my video. I hope you like it and leave a like, and I hope that I get to see you next time.